And it seems like Daybreak is dying. I mean, we've all known this, right? It is getting a rewrite, but what is that realistically going to do for the game? Updates, I don't think updates it alone will save the game. It needs actual different reworks. In my opinion, the few things which are kind of calling it to die. Content creators, specifically YouTubers, just like moving away, not playing the game as much anymore. Killer kits being very boring, and the game not being beginner friendly at all. Personally, my biggest issue is how boring the killer kits are. Maybe it's just an issue I find, but the fact that every single killer, there isn't any very specific counterplay, it's not very fun. Every game you're doing the same stuff. It's not interesting, right? You don't have to do anything different. There's no like counters to any of the killers. It's just very linear. In their defense, that's basically how these type of games play, right? But the difference between something like Daybreak and Dead by Daylight, a lot of the killers actually, well, now not, but a lot of the killers have unique and interesting and skillful designs, and you actually need to try, right? But look at someone like Unforgotten. You press one button and you get a bunch of different stuff, and I'm not saying Unforgotten is strong, right? Unforgotten is really weak, but I don't know, it's not interesting, and it's very boring to play. That could be said for a lot of different killers, right? Someone like Warden, he takes more skill, right? But the fact that there's no initial wind-up or anything to show that he's using the skill, kind of unfair, kind of feels a bit cheap, but at the same time, the ability can be a bit weak. The fact that there's not many truly unique killers is a massive downside. A lot of anti-loot killers have the mindset of just do slow down, right? Slow the character down. That isn't fun. That's kind of boring. A lot of them play the same, Janitor and Polluted, while like different abilities. They're very similar. They are very similar in my opinion. Well, not that similar, but the premise of what they do is similar. And then there's Android and the Watcher. Oh, they are not good. They are so boring. Maybe it's just me, but I hate genlock killers. And the fact that they're basically the same killer. I think for me, the biggest issue is the fact that a lot of killers just don't require any skill, right? A lot of them are just follow the survivor, use your ability, follow the survivor. It's kind of boring, and you don't have to like make many decisions, and that's just not very fun. The main issue for me with Empress is the fact that she has so much control in her dash. Don't get me wrong, she's really, really strong, but I'd keep Empress, but I'd love another dash killer who requires more skill, but with a lower cooldown. Maybe they have to hit the survivor twice, but the cooldown's lowered, or something like that. I just think it'd be cool to get another dash killer, but someone like Demogorgon, who has zero control when they dash, and they have a massive, massive slowdown at the end. That would be fun. That would be more interesting gameplay, and something I'd actually probably enjoy way more than Empress. I think the killers I enjoy the most, personally, Star Eater and the People's Hero. And something they both have in common is the fact that they require you play them differently, right? Well, not entirely, but the fact that they're way more reliant on their abilities than most other character killers, it just makes the gameplay loop a little more interesting and a little funner. That's something I hope they do with future killers, because I think Star Eater could set a really good precedent for what future killers could look like, right? He's just... The fact that he's so weak is really, really disappointing. But all they need to do is buff stack gain he gets, and he'd be so much more comfortable to play and just easier. Whenever I play him, I normally try to get as many laser kills as possible, but I only typically get 2. I wish that was able to be increased. So basically, we just get faster stat gain. Another killer I would love for to be changed is Possessed. Even Possessed could do the whole spirit thing. I don't think Possessed gameplay is very interesting. It would be a lot better, right, if he was able to M1 straight after. Even then, just avoid it. You don't just keep she makes doesn't. I'm pretty sure she has a voice line. I haven't played against Possessed for ages. Just take note of where she is and how many kills she's got to know how many stacks. And at the top it says if she's going in her stealth mode. It's not difficult to avoid her. She's a very, very weak killer. I don't actually know why people don't complain about her more often. I want more killers who have difficult gameplay, something which you actually have to practice, right? Which I think is a whole other issue on its own. The fact that, one, people aren't very good, but also a lot of new people aren't good, right? That's because of the tutorial being absolutely atrocious. Please, just make the tutorial into some sort of bot game. You don't even need to... It could just literally just be the new player and a bot killer, and it just teaches you how to loop with arrows and text or whatever in like a map, say St. Anne's or something, and then same opposite with when you're the killer. It's not difficult. You can do it. You can do it. Also, the fact that people who are level 1000 plus aren't forced into level 1000 servers, they should be forced into it, because then at least the lower level servers will have lower level people who don't know what to do, how to play the game. They'll be able to... Even then, I think beginner servers, level 1 to level 100, where people are all bad and they're just practicing, right? That would be better. And level 1000 servers, people will actually be good. I don't know why they didn't do that. Every other server option is dead. The game's dead. This video is going to be absolutely everywhere, but my thoughts are just like going all over the place, so I apologise about that. I just think there's a lot of unfun and annoying mechanics what killers get, right? Something like Unforgotten's automatic slow, stuff like that, right? It's kind of annoying. Don't get me wrong though, the game is absolutely survivor-sided. I just think that killers should have harder to use abilities, but they give a little bit more value, like a little bit more slow, right? Because at the end of the day, I don't think there's any actually difficult killers apart from probably Slasher and maybe even Star Eater, depending on the server. Well, kind of an abrupt ending, but thank you for watching. Please subscribe, I would appreciate that. Or like, or just don't, I don't mind. Oh, also, buff Showstopper.